Let's go. My name's Dan Gheesling, and welcome to another Star Citizen opinion video. And we got some fireworks for you today. In the latest Around the Verse, we've got a chance to look at, in my opinion, is probably the most impressive in-game planet-side footage we've seen to date. Everything mixed in with environmental effects of the dust, the imposing will of the Reclaimer, and of course the pullout to go from planet-side all the way to the top of the planet level. It's just really impressive, and it's one of those moments when you see this clip for the first time, you're like, it's close. 3.0's got to be around the corner. But this Around the Verse, and there's a ton of footage that I've clipped down for you guys to see in this video, is all about visuals. You know, everything in regards to procedural planet tech. Everything you see in the game, essentially, I don't want to say can be touched, but can be up close and visualized. It's not like there's a major PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds update that just came out that changed the background. It changed from a daylight map to a dusk map. But all that essentially changed was the painting and the background of the level box. In Star Citizen, there is no level box. Everything you see is what you get. You know, they had mentioned in Around the Verse that when you're planet side, you're going to be able to see certain space stations orbiting around yours as the rotation of the planet moves. You're going to be able to see different things in the horizon and above in the sky, and it's wildly impressive, the massive undertaking from just a visual standpoint that Star Citizen CIG is really undertaking. It's impressive to see. You know, we've seen this thing develop from essentially square one to where it is now. And speaking of where it is now, another thing that's I was really highly impressed with in this latest Around the Verse was the mobiGlas update. You know, the holographic image pulled up on the wrist is really cool, but more importantly, I took some time to pause it and look at the actual missions they had within the mobiGlas, so you didn't have to. And these were just a few of the interesting ones that I was able to pull off. One is there's going to be a data beacon mission. Now, when I say there's going to be, we can infer that it's going to be in 3.0 because we saw it in here. Of course, you know, your mileage may vary, but a data beacon mission where it says you're going to have to release a data beacon at a certain point. There's another mission that says a collection from Damar, which we know is another location we're going to be able to land planet side. There was at the bottom of the bottom left of the mobiGlas, there was an escort the ship mission WIP, which means work in progress. So who knows, maybe in 3.0 we'll have some escort missions. We're going to have to escort maybe a cargo ship that maybe there's a procedural or AI pirate attack on it. I don't know. And then there was another mission that popped up on the mobiGlas that said investigate a missing ship. So with 3.0, I think me amongst other people are really looking forward to having a lot of activities or things to do in the game, whether, you know, these missions are procedurally generated or not. I just think the depth and breadth of missions we're going to have the chance to accomplish is really exciting. And speaking of exciting, another thing that they focused on in the Around the Verse update we're getting a chance to see right now is that all these planet-side bases or planet-side stations that we're going to have a chance to visit are all branded much like the ships in Star Citizen. You know, you have a Drake manufacturer, Anvil, Misk. All these different manufacturers are taking the same approach to the planet-side bases. They mentioned there's going to be 4 essentially types or brands of planet-side stations, but I think it's good because it allows for more diversity, right? So they don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel in terms of the space stations are probably going to look very similar in structure and in 3D nature, in formation, in the level standpoint, but just seeing the different coloration, the different branding is enough to make it feel different. And I think that's what we're going to see a lot in Star Citizen. We're going to see a lot of similar tech and a lot of similar things built out, but the level of detail inside of that due to small things such as decal changes and different furniture coloration. I think that's just going to go a long way in the game. And I think where things get really interesting is say, oh, Dan, they're just reskinning space stations. Not really. You know, when Star Citizen and CIG visually attack something, they do it in such a unique way where it doesn't look like it's just respun. I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I'm saying. Just the level of detail they take in every crevasse and corner of everything they do is impressive. And I think, especially with this 3.0 update, and you guys have heard me say a lot, especially in our daily Star Citizen videos, that, you know, there's been a lack of content, but I think they've been holding their cards back just based on what we've seen to this point. You know, every single week in Around the Verse, we get a little taste of the major entree they've been serving up in the back chef room for a long time, and they just haven't brought it out to us yet. And I can respect that, you know. But speaking of it being served out, there's word on the street is that this upcoming Friday, it's going to be released to the Avocados, the Avocati test group. And I'm excited for those people to get their hands on it, because that means that all of us will get it in our hands shortly thereafter. How long? I don't know. You know, I'm hoping for end of July, but there's nothing to substantiate those hopeful claims. Outside of that, we also got a really cool look at some more planet-side tech in different environments, you know, from, I believe, the different moons and the different things we'll be able to expand upon. But also, they showed an awesome clip of the derelict Starfare on the actual surface. We've seen a derelict Starfare in the early Gamescom demo, but it was in you know, mid-flight, or it was in suspended in space. But to see it downed, it just adds another level that I just think are getting people so excited for 3.0, and we all want to get our hands on it. Another thing that we had a chance to see in this Around the Verse was the difference, or how far they've come just in the planet-side tech in regards to the rock propagation. And people are like, oh, Dan, how important is rock propagation? You see it right here. And the way that they introduce it and the way they explain it is above my technical limitations, but you can't argue the execution. And quite possibly my second favorite clip from this week's Around the Verse is they showed off the new Drake cutlass, the rework of it, but in particular a wing of 4 cutlasses going in through the atmosphere to land and go through the whole planet-side progress. And I just think, you know, although in the upper right-hand corner you see it's like 15, 16 frames a second, it's still, this is what we're going to get with 3.0. I just expect nothing less than the fact for us to be able to explore. They said it could take up to 15 hours to go from one end of the planet to another, to just be able to go out and explore. And I think with that, it's going to give us a large enough sandbox for a long time to do a lot of engaging things in the game. And I know a lot of people say, well, Dan, if 3.0 comes out, it's not meant to be played that way, or, you know, I hope you don't get your hopes up. But I do, because we've been able to have so much fun in the current build of 2.6.3. I think when you introduce multiple different planet sides, and the fact with, you know, different valleys and planet side vehicles and just missions, and there's just going to be new ships integrated. I just think that with this last Around the Verse, we've got I hope the final taste, the final teaser of 3.0 being ready, because this Around the Verse in particular, I think, just really showed how close it is visually to being ready. Now on the backside, we don't know. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this Star Citizen opinion video, taking a look at the visual update, the missions, and the procedural planet tech that we have yet to see thus far. If you guys did enjoy this video, clicking the like button does help out a great deal. And if you're new to the channel, I welcome you to subscribe. We post a new Star Citizen gameplay related video every single morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. And let me know what you guys think about the planet-side tech in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.